Let's begin the entry into our iPhone 5, starting with the two pentalobe screws. We have one on either side of our lightning port connector. With these two pentalobe screws removed, we want to utilize a suction cup on the front face of our screen closest to our home button. Once we have a small bit of separation created, you'll notice we used our fingernail to continue that separation to allow our display assembly to be lifted up and reveal our iPhone's internals. There is a small metal cover protecting the connections for our display assembly. Go ahead and remove the 3 Phillips screws that are securing it into place. And once that protective plate is removed, you'll notice the 3 connections for our display assembly that we can gently pry up on, and it should now be free for removal. With our display assembly separated from the rest of our iPhone, we can now bring our attention to removing the battery. You will notice that the connection for our battery is protected with a metal cover. Let's go ahead and remove the 3 Phillips screws that are securing this cover into place. And gently pry up on the battery's connection to release it. Now, to completely remove the battery from the iPhone, we need to pry it up out of its secure location. Unfortunately, this time around, Apple decided to put a lot of adhesive to secure this battery in place. Be careful when prying this battery up, as you might cause damage to it, so please do use caution and a little bit of patience, but eventually it will come out of the phone. With our battery finally removed, let's bring our attention to the loudspeaker and our dock port assembly. Our 2 pieces are secured into the bottom of the phone with 7 Phillips screws we want to remove at this time. There's a small coaxial antenna connection by the battery terminal. Let's disconnect that. There's also a small portion of ribbon wire that is adhered to the top of the loudspeaker assembly. Let's peel that off the top of the loudspeaker and then maneuver the loudspeaker into the center of the phone, but don't separate it completely from the dock port as it's still connected. At this time, we can lift up on our dock port connection. And then use our spudger to peel up the adhesive that is holding down the ribbon cable, as well as the dock port assembly into the bottom of the phone. It's going to take a little bit of prying and a little bit of patience and some slight maneuvering, but the dock port will eventually come out of the bottom of the phone, as well as the loudspeaker. With the 2 pieces out of the phone, then you'll see how it's still connected by a small ribbon cable on the other side of your headphone jack assembly. Let's peel those 2 apart. And now you have the separated loudspeaker and dock port assembly.